deeper than we could ever imagine by the Supreme. If we know we're a part of the Supreme, and the Supreme is everything, we just read that, heard that, and that Supreme is love and action and everything, and we're loved by that whole, we're a part of that whole. How could we be depressed? If we really accept that we are made for love and love deeply, could we be inactive? We would never feel any moroseness, because there would always be opportunities for us to receive love and to give love. If we really accept that life is a school of love, how could we not be mindful at every moment? Every moment. Mindful at every moment. That's very important. We would constantly try to get nourishment that helps us act according to our natural position. Just as a machine functions best when used properly, according to its purpose, we also give the best results when we function according to our purpose. Conversely, when a machine has a specific purpose and we use it in an inappropriate way, we will create many problems. I see, use it appropriately, I see people walking around with iPods, these things in the ears, and a little machine, and that has a purpose. But suppose we decided we wanted to hold a door open with it and we put it as a doorstop. That wouldn't work, would it? No, because that's not the purpose of it, and we couldn't use it properly. When we are not happy, what is it? What does that mean? When we are not happy, that's not talking about us, right? Because we're spiritual warriors and okay, what does he say? When we're not happy, it means we are forgetting our identity and purpose. What is our identity? Just said, eternal beings. What is our purpose? To love God. That's come out a number of times in the readings today. Our dissatisfaction means that we are missing opportunities to share love, to give love, and to receive love. If your attention is just on yourself, poor me, I'm so unhappy, I'm so miserable, nobody treats me right, nobody talks to me right, you're missing opportunities because you're made for love. You're an eternal being. You see, we grasp this understanding. For instance, he says, whenever we fall into depression, it is a sign we are not sending out enough love. This is the school of love. Some people fail again and again because they somehow do not understand. Some people have very exciting points in their lives, and at other times, extremely complex periods. It means that sometimes they're getting it, and sometimes they're not. Some people try to find that love only within one person. They try to find that love only within one activity, race, religion, or political group. They just do not get it. Because being made for love, it is being reminded again, being made for love, they cannot get nourishment in only one particular way, at only a specific time. Why? Because we are made for love. And we have to find a way to give love. And as you give, so shall you receive. Sound familiar, huh? They must have it always, okay? They must have it always, and it must come from so many sectors. Not only must it come from other directions, but they must also give it in so many ways. On the other hand, some people are excited by a life of love. They see each moment as an opportunity to experience more of what they are already experiencing. Somehow, they get it. You got it? You getting it? It's just, again, each moment, mindful of each moment, knowing who you are, who God is, your connection with God, your here, your position in service, and fulfilling that. The dynamics of the school of love. It says, think about the dynamics of the school of love. Now, what did we start with? The first sentence of life is the school of love. All right? Remember that. Now he says, a school is a place comprised of students and teachers. We are all students. Life is the school of love. And sometimes, as a part of our own learning, we are teaching. In school, a certain criteria determines what level each student will pursue. And certain skills will determine how much mastery and efficiency a student has. Just recalling when I went back to college after my children went off to college themselves, and trying to register and really decide which direction I was. I was in the health field during that time, and just trying to set up a curriculum and know what you had or what you want, and something doesn't seem necessary. It can get a little frustrating, but finally you need help, and I had the help of a school counselor guidance technique. Finally decided on what curriculum I would take for what it was I wanted. And that's school. That's what it's about. He says here, in this school of love, sometimes we're excelling by leaps and bounds. But sometimes we're stagnant. At times, we even go backwards and get demoted. The material body and material world is comparable to a reformatory or prison. To the degree that we focus on the body, we change the school of love into a prison. Where should our focus be? Where can we focus? We focus on who we are, who God is, and how we're serving. These reflections should help us understand why we sometimes feel enthusiasm in our lives that is substantive and spiritual, and why at other times we feel emptiness. Why at times does the whole universe seem to choke us? Our service seems to beat us. Our relationships seem to disappoint us. Why? For many people, just getting up in the morning involves trauma and pain because they have forgotten that they are made for love. Many people fail in this school because they are somehow waiting for the lesson and waiting for the opportunity without realizing that the lesson and the chance to excel is always available. People who are waiting to be loved before they can give love will constantly be waiting. Whoa. People who are waiting to be loved before they can give love will constantly be waiting. Every moment is an opportunity to learn a lesson in this school of love. And if we see that and take it as an opportunity, we won't have to wait, because then life becomes exciting as we go one moment at a time. How can I learn from this? How can I give love? Well, I'm made for love, and that love is coming from God, and I'm going to give it back. He states, any type of relationship we have provides an opportunity to share love. Share love with that so-and-so. That so-and-so is also part and parcel of the Lord. And that Lord is within that individual. And they're crying for love. And when we know we're made for love, when we know that love is coming from the Supreme, then we can give that love. And that so-and-so is just crying, and if that love is given without expecting anything in return, you'll see a change. While relating to those who might have a superior position, such as parent, we're back in the school of love now, it's back in the school dynamics of school. While relating to those who might have a superior position, such as parents or teachers, we can exchange love by receiving advice and wisdom. Sometimes we need to listen to help us to see the opportunity and how the Supreme is giving us back love through someone else, a parent or a teacher. With our peers, we can always share some kind of healthy communication. Like how we put healthy communication, service, and friendship. With those who might not be as experienced as ourselves or younger in the school, we can always share some sense of love by trying to guide and facilitate them in different ways. So just think in the environment sometime, or you're with the children, even your own, and if you're not focused on the moment and know that you're made for love, get out of here, get out of my way, leave me alone. But those are opportunities to share a sense of love by trying to guide and facilitate in different ways. When we share love among all these different levels of associates, it becomes more difficult for us to forget who we are. And we have a greater chance of becoming certified in this school. If a person can learn from younger students, from his or her peers, and from those in higher grades, that individual will become a very progressive student. So learning is across the board. You can't put down anybody. Well, what do they know? There's something you can learn. Be mindful and alert and know you're made for love. And that may be some loving advice coming to you at the moment you need it. Certainly, that student also become an excellent teacher, since they will have so much to share due to their alertness in the school. Now, the teachers are there to direct, guide, and show love. For instance, every so often a special entities come into the school or into this material world to see who is ready to graduate into the land of ultimate animated love. There's a lot in that sentence. If we are on a spiritual path, endeavoring to become understand our spirituality, our connectedness with the Lord, and our hearing. This is what he says. I'll repeat that because I'm repeating it for myself. It's so much I get from just sharing this with you. For instance, every so often, special entities come into the school or into this material world to see who is ready to graduate into the land of ultimate animated love. These are the great prophets, teachers, and acharyas. Sometimes they act as bounty hunters who go looking for those who are ready to return to the pure land of love. So if you are back knowing you're an eternal being, who you are as a spirit soul, and who you're connected to, and know that that connection means that you're the servant and you're serving, and knowing you're made for love, as he keeps reminding us. Then a bounty hunter comes looking for those who are ready to return to the pure land of love. When such bounty hunters go into the different environments, most entities who have forgotten their real identity run from these helpers. They run from those personalities who have actually come to help them regain what they have temporarily lost. They run into all types of situations that help them propagate the illusion that they're not loved and that they have no love to share. I just, now and then I get these flashbacks of when it states here, when bounty hunters go into different environments, most entities who have forgotten their real identity run from these helpers. They run from those personalities who have actually come to help them regain what they have temporarily lost. And what just came to my mind, and this goes back quite a few years, but believe I was like thinking, not knowing to call it spirituality, having a sense there must be something more, but also enjoying, in quotes, material life. And I remember I was reading a book, and it seemed pretty interesting, and I don't know, this is the sense I'm getting. This was quite some time ago, that I was agreeing, and then it said something, I don't know if it was about surrender or giving up, and I remember saying, oh no, I'm not ready for that. And I closed the book and put it away. Of course, then I thought I was enjoying until time went by and I knew I was suffering. And then I began crying, and the Lord finally said, okay, I think she's ready for me. So, again, it's reading and sensing that we're being given something to help us advance and become who we really are and know we are made for love. He goes on, however, we want to take their help. These are the bounty hunters who come, or entities who come from way to help us. We want to take their help because they can help us acquire the proper qualifications to graduate from this school. We want their help so that we can avoid selfishness. We do not just want to be selfish students, trying to see what we can get. Rather, we want to advance so that we can teach and facilitate others, while simultaneously trying to graduate ourselves. Furthermore, as we become teachers, we will become more absorbed in chances to share love. And as we share, we want to become more astute at receiving, so that we have more to share. As you give, so shall you receive. What is worse than having a teacher who gives the same lesson every single semester? Ever had one of those? Not only, what that came to my mind. That happens, because then what happened? Your friends say, oh, I had that teacher last term, and he gives the test, and he gives the same test every year. I kept my copy from last term. When you get to this subject, take the, you ever had that? I remember. Same test, same stuff, year in and year out. Everybody know, oh yeah, go to him, because I got a copy of all his tests. He's boring as anything, but if you study this, you'll pass. So this is what he's referring to. What is worse than having a teacher who gives the same lesson every single semester? Of course, then you don't study, you're not getting it, you just want to pass the course. Not only will the teacher become bored with the subject matter, but the teacher will also bore the students, because he or she will just have a mechanical performance. Most teachers function in this way. They know the lesson plan, which they have mastered to a certain extent, and therefore they just speak mechanically. I hope none of you out there is that kind of teacher. Not only are they bored, but but they also bore their students. And the students just want their degrees so that they can graduate and start earning money. They minimize the point of the lessons and the experience. We also find this problem in spiritual circles. I'm thinking we're coming near the end of time. Are there any comments or questions before I go further?
Right now, it's been suggested that you go on for a little while longer because in the beginning there was no sound.
Oh.
So there was a lot missed.
Okay. There are people in the chat room?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's continue with teachers. He says in the next section, genuine teachers can enthuse their students. Okay, we just got finished with the boring teacher. There are so many teachers who know the philosophy and theology, but since they have not truly imbibed the teaching, they cannot enthuse people deep in their hearts. Imbibe. That's why we must imbibe as we're studying, as we're having spiritual practices, as we're reading. We have to imbibe the knowledge. It's that knowledge that makes us enthusiastic about life. Remember that in the school of love, we cannot cheat. In material school, some people might be able to cram in the last minute or even pass tests without learning or experiencing the material. They simply give the teacher what he or she wants. Teachers who only want the material regurgitated back in a specific way without the pupils accessing the essence are cheaters. Their students will learn nothing more than mastering this cheating propensity. Many people graduate from this type of school as expert cheaters. They have learned the science of how to study, but understand very little while pretending to know so much. Know anybody like that? They can pass the quizzes and tests in such a way that it seems as if they have taken the subject matter very seriously. Of course, this can only happen when students have cheating teachers, because cheating teachers will honor cheating students. However, when a teacher is genuine, the student cannot get away with cheating in any way. A proper teacher will expose the student's level of understanding so that the student can learn the material properly. But the teacher has to be absorbed in love to recognize and stimulate love in others. And I'm sure many of us maybe who've been to school or went to school for some time or later, there was one teacher that just didn't let you cheat, could recognize you were pretending to know, but you didn't. But that teacher would bring you in and ask questions and guide you and show you. For this reason, we cannot cheat in the school of love. In regular academic school, one student might seem to work very hard and even get a good grade, although he or she did not use all of his or her skills. In another case, a student might not perform as nicely externally and might not receive a high grade. But the individual put forth greater effort and used all of his or her skills. The teacher who is only looking for external productivity may quickly give the first student a high grade and the second student a low grade without considering any other factor. However, many teachers understand that one student's A might be of a higher quality than another student's A because one student put more effort into the work than the other. One student really imbibed the essence of the course. Someone might be more intelligent and pass the course easily, but the material will not have much meaning to them later in life. Another student might struggle more to get a good grade, but he or she has really imbibed the subject matter. And the key to this, the essence of this paragraph is, he says, in spirituality, these factors are essential. Why? The Lord looks at our capacity and our ability. Don't forget, the Lord is in everybody's heart. He's everywhere, equally present in everything. We went through that earlier. So he's not missing anything. As my guru used to say, he doesn't take a vacation. So the Lord looks at our capacity and our ability. He understands all our limitations and judges us according to how we genuinely use what we have. It's not about looking over at the other person's paper and getting the answer there and putting it, and it may be the right answer, and I passed the test. No. The Lord understands our limitations, still loves us, judges us according to how we genuinely use what we have, still loving us. This school of love is wonderful. In the material world, we must constantly confront different assaults. But the school of love can remind us of our higher purpose. And we all have a higher purpose. What is to love God? Every religion teaches to love God. Love God with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole soul. Even if we seemingly do not have enough money, health, or support, we can realize that ultimately it does not matter, because The spiritual warrior, we're spiritual warriors. We've been taking in a lot of technologies and methods. The spiritual warrior knows that nothing can stop God's love. And nothing can stop our chance to also be loving as possible. Every moment is a chance to give and receive love. And if you had studied the qualities, I made a note here, quality number 8. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go get it. Okay, it's getting late. How, any comments, any questions?
Yes. There's someone in the chat room by the name of Tuffer. He says that your animation adds nectar to the mango of Krishna Katha. And Bhuvana Mohan offers his obeisances to you and wants to let you know that his grandson out of 1:05 this afternoon was born.
Congratulations. Thank you, Thakur. I appreciate that very much. I'm really just, I know you've read some of Bhakti Tirtha Swami's books, and it's just amazing. Every time I read, I feel I'm getting more, but the whole idea is to imbibe. And Bhuvan Mahan, Grandpa, congratulations. I'm glad all is well with your grandson. Thank you for your comments.
And Libby says that she liked your sharing, and thank you very much.
Oh, where is Libby?
California.
Okay, Libby, I think we've spoken before. Thank you for being there, dear, and thank you for your comment.
And Cog Seeker says hi.
Who?
Cog Seeker.
From where? Oh, I'm going to ask the chat room folks, if you're coming in, let me know where you're from, please.
Cog Seeker is from Kansas.
Kansas, all right. We've had a few folks from Kansas. Okay, what was Kasika's comment? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Question. Does anyone have any questions at this time?
Somebody's asking that? Oh, you're asking that. If not? No? Okay. Okay, you're going to do your homework. School of Love means you are becoming more loving. You know you're made for love. You know where that love is coming from. So you've got a week to practice giving without expecting anything in return. And next week we'll continue with the section, the correlation between love and happiness. Thank you all for being there, and I'm hoping you're using these methods and tools and ideas and suggestions and concepts of Bhakti Tirtha Swami to make your life more loving. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.